The World Health Organization claims that alcohol is a toxic and psychoactive substance with dependence-producing properties. Full stop. Is it really true that a glass of wine a day is slowly killing us and sommeliers are just legal drug dealers? My name is Garry and I'm a WCT3 qualified dealer. Sommelier. Let's jump right into it. I have two pieces of news for you. One good and another not so good. I'll start with the second one. All the doctors agree on the fact that alcohol is harmful. There is no absolutely safe alcohol consumption limit because any amount of alcohol influences the heart, blood pressure, sometimes it causes anxiety. Well, I'm not a doctor, I'm a sommelier, so I'm on the other side of the barrier, you know. Anyway, alcohol is harmful and we cannot do anything about that. But there is a good piece of news. Each country establishes its own moderate consumption limits, and the truth is that they differ really a lot. Let's compare the US, the UK and the Australian ones. All of them have their limits in points, but the problem is that points differ a lot from one country to another. Like, just take Australia for instance. It's clearly stated that one can drink no more than 10 standard drinks a week and no more than 4 drinks a day. Seems quite clear, but an Australian standard drink is not a drink that we are used to, like it's not a glass of wine. In a glass of wine, there is approximately 1.5 standard drinks, so in a whole week, it's okay to drink no more than 4-5 glasses of wine. Well, they state 150 milliliters of wine as a glass, and as a sommelier, I can say that it's a very generous pour. Normally, wine is served at pours of 125 milliliters, but anyway, it's the same 5 glasses a week, probably 5.5, which is even less than a bottle of wine. In the UK, though, the NHS claims that it's okay to drink up to 14 drinks per week, but is it actually more alcohol? Not quite, because in the UK, a standard drink is 10 milliliters of alcohol, while in Australia, it's 10 grams of alcohol. Same thing? No, because alcohol weighs less than water, and in 10 milliliters, there are only 8 grams. So 10 Australian drinks is about 100 grams of pure alcohol per week, and 14 UK drinks is 112, which is not way more. It's again roughly a bottle of wine, probably a stronger wine like 14-15% ABV, but still English doctors do not suggest exceeding a bottle of wine per week. And what's in the US? The same 14 drinks for men and only 7 drinks for women per week, but there is a huge difference here. A US standard drink is 0.6 fluid ounce of pure alcohol, which means 14 grams, almost double from the Australian standard drink, right? So 14 drinks for men is 204 grams of alcohol, which is way more than considered harmless or almost harmless in Australia or in the UK, about 2 bottles of wine per week. And again, these are just the basic guidelines, and each medical institution of each country says that there is no absolutely harmless amount of alcohol consumption. And why was wine legalized then? If it's an addictive substance, it should be banned, and actually alcohol is banned in some countries, but wine is too deep in the culture of the society that it's just not possible to eliminate it. Like ancient Greeks and Romans, for them wine was a part of any meal basically, and their wine was very strong, like 15 to 20 ABV, which is way higher than in the majority of the modern wines. Well, on the other hand, they had a habit to drink the wine diluted, and it was considered a plebeian behavior to drink undiluted wine, but anyway, they drank a lot. Then the medieval ages, when wine was the necessary product in any castle, and wine wasn't considered something bad, it was just a part of a meal, like a source of calories. Of course, now we are not ancient Greeks or medieval knights anymore, and we gotta know our limits with wine. And let me share my experience of how I tackled the wine issue as a sommelier, because there is a strange belief that sommeliers are almost alcoholics, and sometimes they really might become alcoholics. There are such cases, but hopefully it's not mine. Hopefully, but you never know, okay? By the way, if you enjoy wine, consider subscribing to my channel and to my free newsletter. I just share my wine experiences once a week there. You can text me back, we can discuss some wine-related questions. The link is in the description down below. Okay, and back to alcoholic sommeliers. A sommelier has to taste a lot of wines, right? at least more than an average person. But the main life hack here is that sommeliers don't drink. They usually taste the wine and then spit it into the spittoon. A little bit of alcohol is still absorbed by the mouth, but it's not that much. To become a bit tipsy, you need to taste several wines in a row, and then this feeling vanishes over like 15 to 20 minutes, no problem. But that is about the work. At home, I also enjoy wines from time to time during the visits to the wineries as well. And here I have 3 rules that I follow in order to control what's happening between me and wine. Okay. First, I pour smaller portions. If a standard glass of wine in Australia is 150 milliliters and in the UK it is 175 milliliters, I pour less than 100 grams. It means that in 1 glass of wine I consume no more than 10 grams of pure alcohol, which is about 1 standard drink. It depends on the country as well, which system you prefer, but still it's way less than 1.6 standard drinks in a full-sized glass of wine. And I don't actually think that anyone needs 175 milliliters of wine in 1 glass. Like, there are lots of options. The world of wine is so diverse. Why limit yourself with just 1 huge glass if you can taste 2 different wines in smaller volume? The second thing is about the maximum drinking amount. I do not exceed 4 these smaller glasses, which are 4 standard Australian drinks, and basically I just stick to this rule here. It's just my experience. 4 smaller glasses of wine for me is a bit less than half a bottle, right? If I drink more, I'll definitely feel bad the next morning, and I don't want it. I have my work, my life, my things to do, and I want to be okay the next morning. So limiting the maximum amount of alcohol consumption is very important. Sometimes, it's a pleasant evening, you're chatting with your friends, and it's easy to permit yourself to have 1 more round. But no, for me, it's just 4 smaller glasses per evening. And obviously, these evenings should not be repetitive, like not every day, of course. And the third thing is about drinking more expensive wines. Yes, it may seem a bit strange, but drinking more expensive wines gives you a lot of benefits. I don't want to sound like a bad sommelier willing to sell you the bottle of wine nobody wants to buy in a restaurant, but more expensive wines give you really more in terms of the nose and the palate, like the flavors and aromas. And purchasing better quality wines, you just expand your knowledge about the wine because it just leads a spark of curiosity. For me, that was the reason to start being interested in wine. Like, why does this wine taste like honey and that wine taste like cloves and vanilla? Isn't it interesting? Because wine is not only an alcoholic beverage, it's the whole culture, it's the history of the regions, the fortunes of winemaking families, like people who make the wine, their relationship with the place, with the earth. Isn't it exciting? I don't encourage you to spend more than you planned on wine, no way. I just offer to spend the amount of money you spent on wine to purchase 2 times less wine than planned. You can save the difference or alternatively invest it in your tasting experience. That is why I sometimes enjoy going to restaurants. Yes, wines by glasses cost a whole bottle in retail, but probably I don't need the whole bottle. I just want to taste the wine, form my opinion about it, and go on. Like this, you drink less but taste more. And for me, there is way more in wine than just fermented grape juice sold for €5 in the supermarket. Of course, these wines also have the right to be. They're just casual drinks to accompany a simple evening, and there is nothing wrong with that. But what I suggest doing is limiting down the amount but going up on the quality. For me, a more or less safe amount of wine I can drink is from a half to entire bottle a week, and that's basically what the guys from the Australian Medical Association suggest. But for you, it may be different. And by the way, when I became interested in wine, I cut down on other types of alcohol. Like, I haven't had a spirit in I cannot remember how many years now. And beer, well, I occasionally can have a beer or two, but not as regularly as wine. Sometimes I try to enjoy non-alcoholic wine as well, but to me it smells okay, almost just kind of a normal wine, but the taste reminds me of a diluted vitamin C kind of thing and not a regular wine. So non-alcoholic wine might be an option as well, but personally I'm not a huge fan of it. Please enjoy with moderation, like, comment and subscribe to my channel if you love this video, and see this one next about how to store an open bottle of wine in the fridge so that it never goes off.